The Valley Season 2 premieres in just about an hour. We got to talk about it before it premieres. We have some news on the Karen Read trial and so much more. So smash that like. Hopefully, you're wearing something comfy. Grab a beverage and let's get this party started. Now I just need to find my intro. And I found it.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, stand-up comedian and pop culture vulture. Joleen Lunzer here for another episode of No Offense, All Offense, where we talk about pop culture news, our favorite reality shows, trending topics, things we love to hate, things we hate to love. Make sure you guys smash that like. Let me know you're here. Let the YouTube algorithm know that you are here. Hit that subscribe. We are on our way to what? 50K. I mean, we're on our way mainly to 40. We're really close to 43,000. If we could hit 43,000, we are under 100, I think, away from 43,000. So can we hit 43,000? I mean, your girl's 45. 45. Hello. We take a comedic look. You know, if you've been here before, if you don't, that's what we do. We find the funny, some serious, and it's very opinion based. Now, remember, I'm so opinionated. However, that doesn't mean you have to have the same opinion. You're welcome to sound off in the live chat or the comment section, and we can just calmly agree to disagree, like the wonderful Buddha-like housewife, Tamara Judge.
That's my opinion!
It's just my opinion, okay? Now, everything I'm going to tell you today is true, except for the parts that are false. Everything is alleged and for entertainment purposes only, so don't sue me if you could. That would be great.
Allegedly!
Everything is alleged, okay? Hello to everyone in the chat. Happy Tuesday. So good to see you guys. Hello, good to see you, artists. Yes, Jace, thank you for waiting. I kept having to push the live back because I had a doctor's appointment, and then Hype Man husband Chell took his last nursing final today, so we're so excited. He graduates not this weekend, but next weekend. Our families are coming into town, and so Nurse Chell is just killing the game. So we're so happy. So I also got him a surprise. I don't know if he's listening. Don't listen, Chell. So when he gets home, I have a surprise for him. So I had to get that. And then I got us some food and I had to let the dogs out. Roof. So it's a very happy day in the Lunzer Hernandez home. We have RN Chell showing up. Now he just has to take his state boards, and he already basically has a job. So I'm a happy girl. I'm a happy girl. So proud of Hype Man husband Chell. Derek, I got Chell a PS5. No, I didn't. Sorry. Chell got Chell a PS5, and then I got Chell for his birthday one of those portable things. And he bought that for himself as he was finishing up, like getting into the last semester of school. And then I bought him, what is it? Like a portable thingy where he can like lay next to me while I'm watching, reality TV, and then he's just getting, it's a thing. Okay. I had said no PS5, no, but the guy works hard. What am I going to do? So we're so excited. I'm just a proud wifey. I'm getting a little tearing up a little bit, but I'm just so excited for him and his nursing journey. And he's going to be so amazing. I mean, he already is a fantastic CNA. So I'm just really, really happy and excited for him and excited for our family. So not a switch. It's like one of those, you put kind of a switch, I guess. Yeah. You put the little PS5 in, so it's portable. I don't know. It was like $200 and they just came out with the color black. They only had white ones. So yes. So RN Chell we're so excited. So yeah, let the gamer game, and then we watch hockey together. We have a hockey game tonight to watch. We went to a hockey game Sunday. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. I don't know what's happening, but let's jump into it. Smash that like. Let's set a like goal for 400. See if we can hit it. You guys, first things first, Karen Read. Okay. We're going to be covering this trial. I don't know if I'm going to do like watch together with all you beautiful people, but we will definitely be covering it in some capacity. I have been doing some roasts. So, of previous cross-examinations and testimonies from the first Karen Read trial, well, the Karen Read retrial now, they have their jury. So opening statements are Tuesday. So tomorrow, I don't know what they do tomorrow, something. And then Thursday, Friday, no, I don't even know if they have court Thursday, Friday, because it's Easter weekend. And then Good Friday. And then I think Tuesday, they said. Yep. So 18 total jurors have been selected. 12 will ultimately deliberate at the end of this case. Emily D. Baker says opening statements are for next Tuesday, April 22nd. Court will be in session tomorrow without jury for the motions hearings. Boring. And there will be, there are still outstanding issues related to experts. Well, I guess not totally boring. And Commonwealth has given notice of using Karen Read's numerous interview statements against her. And has asked to use some in opening statements. So Tuesday will be posted up. Thank you, Meg, first of all, for being a member for 10 months. And thank you for the kind words. Way to go, Chell. The Sleep Lab. Love the Sleep Lab tech in Canada. Thank you, Meg. I appreciate that. And your sleep lab techiness. I don't know why that was like a tongue twister for me. So jury selected, and I'm excited because I would like to see, I'm following this trial. I'm very interested in it. It's a wholly sad case, but it is so corrupt and all the things that it's like cuckoo bananas. So, okay. So we have that. First things first, tonight is the premiere of The Valley season 2, where we are going to see Jax Taylor just be Jax Taylor. Now, he keeps warning every interview he does, he's been for a month or so, trying to get ahead of this season, because this season he's really going to show his ass. But I would argue we've seen his ass and we're not impressed. It's not going to be much different than what we'd expect from Jax's behavior, but that doesn't mean we're going to tolerate it. And that doesn't mean that I am not going to take every opportunity this season of The Valley to drag his ass. He is trying to get ahead of it. He has been trying to be like, oh, I've changed. The man hasn't changed. We've been covering it here. We've been roasting him and recapping these horrific interviews he does. I saw the first 7 minutes or whatever they released of the first episode. He's a monster. He picked up a coffee table and he threw it in an argument with Brittany, and it hit her. That is abuse. That is wrong. That is disgusting. And we're going to see even more. And we know that this man is just a narcissistic POS. And I am going to drag you, Jax, every fucking week, bro. You're not getting out of this. You don't belong on our TV. And if Bravo insists on giving this man a platform to monetize his abuse and to, have all these opportunities, we are going to drag his ass. Okay, so go cry in the corner, because I am not worried about you. Do I think this man has changed? No. Is anyone ever going to make me feel bad about dragging him? Hell to the nah. You're a piece of shit, Jax. You're too motherfucking old to be throwing shit at women. Everyone is too old to be throwing shit at women. So if you don't want to watch the show, if you don't want to support that shit, I 100% understand. But come over here where we are going to drag him to hell, drag him down to hell, down to hell. Get the shovel, dig it up, get in there, Jax. I don't feel bad a day in my life. The more interviews I hear from this man, the more I know that this is my duty. Okay? As a woman, as a feminist, as a comedian, as an American, as a human, has all the things to drag him. And obviously it's mostly my duty as you guys have appointed me the narc slayer.
In every generation there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the slayer.
Kelly Kate says, if Bravo fired Kenya right after she shamed Britt on Roa, why the hell didn't they fire Jax after this? White privilege. White male privilege. They want to fuck Jax. I feel like the Bravo people, there's something with these problematic men. There's too many problematic men working at Bravo. Andy Cohen, you're included in this, who either have had sex with him, want to have sex with him, have done drugs with him. I don't know, but it's gross at this point. It's gross. So we're going to drag him straight down to hell so he feels at home. Speaking of that, let's listen to part of an interview he did. There's a few interviews here. So this one, I don't think I uploaded the other ones. Well, it's basically, you guys know how these interviews go. I've been working on myself, and it's 134 days, and I don't drink anymore. And yeah, I'm like really sorry, but I've changed. And we know Brittany is saying he hasn't changed. So we have an interview from Brittany we're going to roast, and we have this little snippet I have of Jax. I've added filters that I feel fit his personality so that we can watch this and not just, and really see the real him. Okay. So here's one of Jax, the demon man, the demon man, the demon man. Okay, let's see here. You guys give me a thumbs up as soon as you can hear the audio on this. And let's see what this, it's not even a man, it's what this narc has to say.
Myself for the last 133, working on myself for the last 133 days. That's how long I've been sober. Just worrying about myself, trying to get in a good place with Brittany, trying to be a good, co-parent and get back to where I need to be.
And is there any tensions tonight that still need to be squashed, or do you feel like everyone's on good terms?
To be honest with you, I'm not really worried about anybody else. I'm worried about myself. I'm going to be a little selfish right now, and I think I deserve to be a little selfish. I'm not really worried about what other people think.
I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. I just have to stop you there, old man. All you've ever been is selfish. We've never seen you not be selfish. Tiffany Pollard said it perfectly. Shout out to New York. She said, you're a demon. You're black. You have a black soul. You're a demon. You're a demon from hell. Okay. You're not even cool enough to be from the Hellmouth in the Buffy verse. But yeah, you're like a Hellmouth demon. But you're like one of those ones that wouldn't be a full season arc. You would be one of the ones that just appears on an episode and then Buffy slays you real quick. Okay. But yeah, you're a demon. And the fact that you're like, I'm going to be selfish. That's all you know how to be is selfish. What have you ever done that is not selfish? Especially when it comes to your family and with Britt. I'm just going to be selfish. And let me tell you, this is more proof that this man is not in any kind of 12-step program. Nobody in 12-step programs talks like this. I guarantee it, you guys. I am a sober person. I know lots of sober people. I've done things. I've been places. You don't talk like this. If anything, you gain a sense of humility. People were putting that in the comments. My fellow sober brothers and sisters out there were saying that you don't become so self-involved. There are steps to this if you choose to go that way. Any way you want to get sober and it works for you, God bless. But he's touting that he's like, he's pushing AA. He's saying that, talking about who his sponsor is. And I'm like, you're not supposed to share that, you dipshit. And especially because his sponsor is like a famous person. And he's almost like bragging. We've seen him in other interviews bragging about who his sponsor. He's like, he's a big deal. And if he can, do it, and then I don't feel. And you're like, what? Krista? Yes. Krista says, when you look in the dictionary under narcissistic personality disorder, a picture of Jax pops up. So I'm just warning you, make sure you sub up because, if you're new here, and just be forewarned that I am going to go ham on this dude all season. Jax, that's just how it is. I know you're trying to get everyone to believe this shit, but I don't believe you. You're a liar. None of this speaks to, this is you hiding behind steps and a process and, something that many people take very seriously and work really hard to achieve every single day, every single hour, every single minute, every single second. You are making a joke of it, and not even a funny joke. Okay, so let's go back to Mr. I'm going to take some time for myself.
Is there any tensions tonight that still need to be squashed, or do you feel like everyone's on good terms?
To be honest with you, I'm not really worried about anybody else. I'm worried about myself. I'm going to be a little selfish right now, and I think I deserve to be a little selfish. I'm not really worried about what other people think. I think the world is going to see they're going to see some really, really bad stuff. And the first two episodes are.
I'm seeing some really bad stuff right now. Just looking at you, bitch. Okay.
And
Calm
is there
down,
any
Jolene.
tensions tonight that still need to be squashed, or do you feel like everyone's on good terms?
To be honest with you, I'm not really worried about anybody else. I'm worried about myself. I'm going to be a little selfish right now, and I think I deserve to be a little selfish. I'm not really worried about what other people think. I think the world is going to see they're going to see some really, really bad stuff. And the first two episodes are, I don't even know who that person is. It's a shell of a human being. I'm disgusted. It's utter embarrassment. It was at my rock bottom, with
No. You're just throwing out sobriety terms. My rock bottom. And he's a shell of a bitch. That's you. That's who you've always been. This is a pattern of behavior. This is who this person is. Ariana called it years ago. We've been watching this for years. Stop, drop, and roll. Nobody believes you, bro. This is a joke. The shell of a person. You'd be lucky if you were a shell. Okay? You're not that put together to be a shell. Calm down, sir. Your analogies need some work. He doesn't recognize that. I recognize that person. I recognize him.
with drinking and drugs and,
Drinking and drugs, being the number one guy in the group, and being the leader of the band.
two episodes are, I don't even know who that person is. It's a shell of a human being. I'm disgusted. It's utter embarrassment. It was at my rock bottom, with drinking and drugs and, divorce, losing my house, going to rehab twice, being diagnosed with bipolar OCD, finding out my friend was hooking up with my ex-wife, losing my son. I mean, find a man that's gone through that.
Those sound like excuses. I remember when I got sober, I definitely didn't show up and go, yeah, every day and go, this, naming all these things. No. These sound like excuses. Okay. And then he's going to again find a way to put himself above everyone else who's ever went through anything or gotten sober or attempted to get sober or was dealing with addiction or how they handled things. He's going to put himself above that with this.
Episodes are, I don't even know who that person is. It's a shell of a human being. I'm disgusted. It's utter embarrassment. It was at my rock bottom, with drinking and drugs and, divorce, losing my house, going to rehab twice, being diagnosed with bipolar OCD, finding out my friend was hooking up with my ex-wife, losing my son. I mean, find a man that's gone through that and still here. I want to shake his hand because it takes a lot to still be standing here right now, going through what I went through.
You want credit? Like, this is so crazy. It's like, I'm still standing after. And what, bitch? Try being a woman. Try being a woman in America or the world in general. Okay, you can throw all the acronyms at me that you want. Ooh, you lost your mansion. First of all, you didn't, because you wouldn't leave the damn house. So we're going to see that this season of The Valley. You made Brittany and your son leave. That's how much you put your family first, and you're such a good dad. That when you were fucking up in the marriage, what'd you do? You kicked out your wife and your baby son. You kicked him out of the home where he feels comfortable, the only home he knows, and you sent him off to be in a Airbnb so you could fuck random hoes. That's what you did. You used your house as a slut pad for you to slut it up. Your baby's home, the one place he feels the most secure and safe when you're not around, allegedly. And you said, leave. Get out right now. It's the end of you in this ugly farmhouse because it's rebuilt. It's a McMansion and it is ugly because it has farmhouse doors and bad siding from Sears. I don't even know if Sears is still a place, but seriously, what you went through. And he's like, most men I wouldn't know. Jax, you realize there are men out there, there are women out there who have gone through far worse. There are men out there who are serving their country. There are men out there who have been to war. There are men out there who have dealt with like serious health issues, almost died. You like to party too much and be on TV and act like an asshole and put your dick where it doesn't belong. Boo-hoo, cry me a river. Thank you, Chickenhead PK Drugface Neely. It is his real face. This is his real face. They put filters on it on Bravo. But this is what this man really looks like. This is what he really looked like. Like, you caused this, bro. Nothing happened to you. You did this. You don't get a fucking award for going, I went through so much and then I did all the coke and cheated on my wife and then was physical with her, physically abusive, verbally abusive, because I went through so much OCD, bipolar. Do you know that I've been diagnosed with both of those things? Bipolar was a misdiagnosis. I was really ADHD. It happens to a lot of women. But OCD, yeah. I mean, join the club. I love how you think you're special. what would benefit you so much, Jax, is to not look so internally all the time at me, and actually give a shit about other people. Hopefully in, in a 12-step program, if that is what you're doing, you'll learn about like acts of service. You'll learn about actually being a humble person with humility and helping others and thinking of other people and not just being so self-absorbed, because that is a huge issue for you. And it's really, really gross.
These aren't mistakes anymore. These are pointed choices. This is a pattern. This is a personality. This is who the person is.
This is who this person is. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you. Because Jax, when you were going through it, most men that you were taking chicks on dates. I actually have one of the dates he took a woman on. She sent me footage. Don't sue me, but she filmed herself on a date with him. And I have the footage, and I'm going to play it for you right now. This is a woman who went on a date with Jax, and this is what happened to her.
Why don't you just have a little snort?
Hon, look, that whole trip's just not for me, okay?
Sandy, don't be a bummer. It's no biggie. Honey.
Poor Sandy. I mean, seriously, don't go on a date with Jax, because you'd be jumping out of windows, just angel dusting like it's 1974. You don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Yes. Thank you, Trisha. He's a trauma dumping victim. Unfortunately, probably a lot of women in the chat and a lot of women that'll watch this video, myself included, have met men like you. You're not new to this. You're boring. You're boring to this. That's what you are. So shut up. Okay, let's hear what else this evolved man has to say.
And I know this show was filmed over a year ago. So what is it like? What is it going to be for you to watch this back?
I got the first episodes 2 days ago, and I wasn't going to watch it. And I was like, I'm just going to watch it. And I cried the whole time. I was just in tears. I don't even know who that person is. It was a disgusting human being. And I'm just so ashamed of myself. And it's emotional just talking about it, because I don't even like that person. I don't want to know who that is.
Come on, Jaxie, squirt out some tears. I'm going to need tears on this one. I'm going to need tears and you to shit your pants. If I'm going to take these emotions seriously, I'm going to need you crying out of all ends. Okay. I'm going to need you to piss yourself, poop yourself, and cry, because miss me. I cried. You cried at your own behavior. Well, imagine how we feel having to watch you.
I defy you, stars!
Oh God, poor Jax, just having to watch himself behave like an abusive asshole. Must be really hard for him, the abuser. Wow.
I've worked really hard since shooting to be a different human being.
What? Name two things. Name one. Name half a thing you've done to be a different human being.
Get to where I want to be, and to be somebody that my father would be proud of, my late father. And I'm happy today. I'm happy. I've worked so hard to get to this point right now, with my sobriety, with my life coach, with my AA, with my therapist, to rebuild and rebrand myself.
SJBC class 2025.
Group, right? I feel like
Shout out to Hype Man Husband Shell.
Go. I don't know what their mascot is. Go the dollar, because it costs too much.
You don't know your school mascot?
Yeah, SJBC class 2025.
You're going to tear their poor headphone users. Sorry, headphone users. Hype Man Husband Shell. Woo! Someone's excited to be done with school. Way to go. Shout out to Chiel. Yes, the more interviews I see with him, Oriole, the more I wonder if this was a pattern of behavior that he saw from his own father. And he's reminded of the fact that how he treats Brittany and what Cruz, their little baby son, sees is how Cruz will go out in the world and think it's okay to treat women. And I think Jesse, that idiot himself, had to remind Jax. Jack's like, yeah. But it's like, well, what did Jax see growing up? So we'll see. Yes, Chell, RN Chell getting a hand. I think he's gonna try to do it with me, you guys. Oh my gosh. he's gonna want marital relations. Okay, Chell.
I need to take a back seat. And I just hope that the people out there watching the show, with my life coach, with my AA, with my therapist.
he names everything. Why is everything a list? OCD, BBB, BPD, BBD, ABC, CBS, NBC. And then now he's like, my therapist, my AA, my da-da-da. Okay, just because you can name a lot of stuff doesn't mean you're actually doing those things or they're working.
To rebuild and rebrand myself.
Did you guys catch that? Did you catch that? Let's just play it again. To rebuild and rebrand yourself.
Sorry, last thing.
Yes.
Whoever got me this.
Graphics.
I just want to say thank you. This is such a nice gift. I was so excited to see it as a surprise yesterday.
Graphics got it for you.
On the side of my bed. It's so cool. This is so awesome. I'm going to be using it every day. So thank you, Graphics. I appreciate it.
Want to show it?
Yeah. It says nurse. And there's this bow because every day is a gift.
Oh, Jelly, I love you. Graphics, he was so touched. I put it next to his bed because Graphics sent me an amazing package. I'll show you at the end of this. And I put it on his nightstand. And he was like, "Is this mine? I'm gonna drink all my iced tea out of it." So it was so sweet. So thank you so much, Graphics. I'm sorry it took me so long to get the stuff and then open the box, the whole thing. And I love all of your things. And I'll show you everything I got at the end of this. But yes, okay.
My late father. I cried the whole time. I was just in tears. I don't even know who that person is. It was a disgusting human being, and I'm just so ashamed of myself. And it's emotional just talking about it because I don't even like that person. I don't want to know who that is. I don't. I've worked really hard since shooting to be a different human being and to get to where I want to be and to be somebody that my father would be proud of, my late father. And I'm happy today. I'm happy. I've worked so hard to get to this point right now with my sobriety, with my life coach, with my AA, with my therapist, to rebuild and rebrand myself instead of just
rebrand. Nobody taking their recovery seriously is worried about their branding. I will tell you that 100%. This is a ploy. This is Jax only gives a shit about how he's perceived on reality TV. He only cares about his relevance when it comes to fame. He doesn't care. He didn't, get well or come forward for his son, like he says, like Brittany had. She straight up told us she had to go to the producer. She had to go to Bravo themselves. She had to go everywhere, and they had to threaten his job. And that's when he would go back to rehab or whatever. So it wasn't any of these things that he said, I wanted to get well for my son. He didn't. He most certainly did not. And when you hear the way he talks, no one, rebrand says it all. Says it all. That's what this man cares about. That's it. That's it. Not actually getting well, not being better for your son, because that is the person that will look to you on how to be a man in the world, not to treat the mother of your child with some goddamn respect and not be an abusive asshole. None of that matters to old Jaxie. It's the rebrand. So I'm side-eyeing and questioning every single person and brand that wants to do business with this person, with this abusive piece of shit. I am making sure to never buy any brand that is working with this asshole. I don't need Axe body spray or dick pills or Rogaine for men. So I think I'll be good anyways. But even if there was something, because the guy still has like sponsors and all this stuff.
Being the number one guy in the group, right?
It's just so, it just reeks because there's no humility. There's no grace. There's no anything. There's no like just giving up to a higher power or a better purpose, or it's just me, brand, number one guy in the group. It's the antithesis of how anyone working a program would advise you to be and things to say. It's just, no, he's lying.
I feel like I need to take a back seat, and I just hope that the people out there watching the show can understand that I'm taking a step back and I'm trying to.
Are you leaving the show? That'd be great. You should leave the show. You should leave. Get out right now. You should leave. No, he's just saying I can't stir the pot as much.
be somebody that I really enjoy being, even though I'm not the main causing all the ruckus. I just can't do it anymore at my age. I just can't.
Nobody asked you. Like, I literally never asked you. Nobody ever asked you to do whatever it is you think you're doing. The self-importance is scary. I never asked. Did you guys ever ask this man? I never asked you. I don't think anyone asked for whatever you think you're delivering. It's not good.
And obviously we have a lot of new.
Which he's like, right? And she's just like, the interviewer's like, okay, awesome. What is he okay? And they're like, that's just who he is. Oh, okay, cool.
Gay with my therapist to rebuild and rebrand myself instead of just being the number one guy in the group, right? I feel like I need to take a back seat. And I just hope that the people out there watching the show can understand that I'm taking a step back and I'm trying to be somebody that
he seems to care more about what we think of him than how he treats his son or his soon-to-be ex-wife or people that love him. You know, he seems to just, so I say that, you know, well, okay, if you care so much about what we think, I'll tell you what I really think. Every week, Jax, I'll tell you what a piece of shit you are. In a funny way. Yeah, I'll tell you, because you're not going to win us over. You need to be getting it together and saving it and, you know, being a good person for your son, for your soon-to-be ex-wife. You need to be making amends. Like, you're really, I hope people watching, this should be the last thing on your mind. It just shows that you're not being an authentic person at all.
I really enjoy being, even though I'm not the main causing all the ruckus. I just can't do it anymore at my age. I just can't.
And obviously we have a lot of newbies this season, a lot of new significant others joining the cast. So did they clash? How did that go?
Who?
The new significant others.
Who's that? If it's not Brittany or Kristen, I don't really.
Do you see? Do you see how, like, Mr. I'm going to cry. I'm really emotional watching this. All of a sudden is throwing stupid shade and being like, who? I don't know. I'm so important. I don't even know this. I don't care about them. If it's not Brittany or Kristen and I can't send them mean messages, yell at them and throw coffee tables at them, I don't know what you're talking about.
Really pay attention to anybody else.
Oh, then never mind. If it doesn't.
What a change, man. What a rebrand. You should get your money back on this rebrand because it just looks the same.
Too new. I don't really. Who knows?
Well, what about Vanderpump? What do you think of the reboot that was announced with an all new cast?
Here's what I think about the Vanderpump. You know what? You're never, ever, ever going to recreate that show. I'm sorry. You got huge, huge shoes to fill.
Okay, first of all, who cares what this man thinks? You got huge shoes to fill. He's talking about himself. Yes, can other people be friends and then fuck each other over? They're going to need another guy to fuck his girlfriend in the bathroom. That's what they're going to need. They're going to need another guy who's willing to date a girl who's in AA and newly sober and then take her in the bathroom and have sex with her. Or do they have guys on the cast who are willing to stick their dick in anything and lie about it? I don't know.
Here's the thing. What I think about when you do reality shows in general, you have to find the reason why Vanderpump works so well is you found a core group of friends that were already existing. It was already there. When you cast a show like this, it becomes very transparent that you like, I need this person to hook up with this. If they can stay away from that and they can be organic and they can be real and not know that they're being filmed, I think they'll be okay. But just keep it authentic. Don't do the extra because people are very smart.
Wait, what? Be real, coming from the most inauthentic person. Okay, let's just listen to that.
That you like, I need this person to hook up with this. If they can stay away from that and they can be organic and they can be real and not know that they're being filmed, I think they'll be okay. But just keep it authentic. Don't do the extra because people are very smart who watch TV. They can tell what's fake and what's not.
Yep. And you're the fakest fuck I've ever seen. Yeah. We are really smart, Jaxie. That's why this whole redemption preseason get ahead of it bullshit isn't working on smart people, especially women. No, I don't believe you when you say that you are better. No, but thank you. We are very smart.
So keep it authentic, keep it genuine. Don't lie because it always comes out.
You just lied during this interview.
Don't try to micromanage or
That's literally what you did during this interview and what you always do.
Produce because they'll find out. Just be yourself and it'll be okay. That's what I always tell people that do reality shows. It's be as authentic as you can.
And will we see you make?
Wow, so profound, Jax. Oh my God, I love how he's stating the obvious and what most people have said for years. They were real friends. Mm-hmm. You can't recreate it. We know. Be authentic. Uh-huh. And he's acting like he's reinventing the wheel. Like, have you heard that? Yeah, we've heard it before. Literally, it's everywhere.
Cameo?
I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that. Maybe. Maybe not.
Do you still talk to Lisa?
No. Lisa doesn't even know who's on our cast.
And last question, what did
Oh, so he still has time to shit on Lisa. Now, Lisa's on my shit list too with her internalized, misogyny and the way she's still caping for James Kennedy and has for all the problematic men in her most recent interviews. But Jax, you don't get to shit on her because you're shitty. You're shittier. You're the shittiest piece of shitty that ever shitted. But you still have time to throw a dig at Lisa.
I can't tell you that.
Because of course, if these toxic Bravo narc men can't be hating on women, they're not feeling alive.
Maybe. Maybe not.
do you still talk to Lisa?
No. Lisa doesn't even know who's on our cast.
And we know that Lisa's shitty and she sucks, but you don't get to talk shit about her. Just we do.
Last question, what advice do you have for the newbies going on that show?
On our show or Vanderpump? Oh, like I said, just be authentic.
Yeah, didn't you already ask him this question?
Don't lie.
He's such a boring interview that she forgot that she already asked this question.
Don't overact. Just be your authentic self and just be genuine. People are not stupid. They can tell fakeness. So fakeness. So just be themselves, have fun with it. It's a fun ride if you play it right.
Boo, tomato. Okay. So that was the one Jax interview I could get through. Now, and he did a lot, and it's basically the same, and that was the interview that he did at the Valley premiere. Now, the premiere party, I should say. Schwartz was there. Schwartz did an interview, and I watched it, but I don't have that interview uploaded because it's just apparently, I think his young girlfriend broke up with him. I think he's hanging out with someone, but he's like, but I'm single. And let me just tell you, Schwartz looked rough. He looked rough. If you didn't see it, go to any of the extra Access Hollywood interviews from the Valley premiere party, from the red carpet or whatever, and watch Schwartz and tell me this man doesn't look rough. He had his shirt unbuttoned a little bit, just some chest hairs, but the fat. Someone's going to be following Jaxie to rehab because it is not, it's like Schwartz. That is the boot. He's got the bloat. He's got the, these guys are just what are you doing? You're too old to be doing this shit. They're acting like they're Leonardo DiCaprio circa, well, probably yesterday, but circa, 2001 here, bro. It's crazy. Okay. Let me pull up this interview. Now, this was let me see if I can play this one. Okay. I'm going to play this one. Why does it have a copyright? Are you serious? Okay. I'm just going to play the audio of the, no, I want to play I'll play part of it. Hopefully they don't. Okay. So this is Brittany on the, if my stream stops for some reason, I'll come right back. But I think this is an important interview. So it's why can't we play it? And it's just a segment of it and a little bit of commentary. Okay. Extra, whatever. Seriously, you've made so much money exploiting these people and trauma and all this. And we can't just watch this damn video and provide some fair use commentary. They're no, this is just for us. We're using it to educate and for satire and comedy. Okay, so I'll speed it up a little bit, hopefully, because even uploading it, even though I put filters on it and I changed it a little bit, and by change it, I mean I put filters on it and I added captions. They're being all weird. Now, but watch Brittany as I'm going to skip around it a little bit, as she's asked about Jax and the fear. Okay, here, let me just go. We're going to put 1.2. So if she sounds like she's talking quick, it's not my fault. It's whoever this extra or whoever's interviewing her who put a copyright on this shit. Give me a thumbs up as soon as you can hear the audio.
being back together with everyone tonight?
It's being we're trying our best, so that's what matters. Yeah.
And how are you holding up? Because you've been through quite a tough time.
I feel like I'm doing really good, compared to everything that's been going on and stuff. I feel like I'm just trying to stay positive as I always do, and just hope for the best.
Okay, so an article came out recently about your son being officially diagnosed with autism. How has this impacted you?
I did expect the diagnosis, but
how do you feel about Jax seeking help, going to therapy, and trying to be a good dad?
Listen, I want him to get
Okay, I'm gonna slow it down here.
help more than
Now watch the lady behind her. It's Lori, that lady, the PR lady. She's behind a lot of these interviews, like listening in, like wondering when she has to step in.
anybody else. Obviously, it's like so positive.
About Jax seeking help, going to therapy, and trying to be a good dad.
Listen, I want him to get help more than anybody else, obviously, but I really is he over here? I'm like scared. I'm like, is he around? Okay.
Like that's such a telling sign. I know she's trying to play it off and laugh and be like, is he over here? Whatever. But that's how controlling and just how volatile and how abusive this man is, that she's like, like this woman is, we know it's Brittany, it's Bear Tries. And she's like, but this man has done a number on her. He is a real asshole. And she is visibly and audibly afraid of him hearing her answer a question honestly. Yeah, right, Anna? Lori K, always watching. She pulled right up. She's like, oh, you talking about Jax? Because remember, Brittany, here's why I'm worried about Brittany. Brittany has a lot of the same representation that Jax does. And I think it's time for Brittany to seek her own representation if she hasn't already. That being PR. And no offense to Lori, but she's working for Jax too. So I almost feel like these people in the industry are not going to give this woman the best advice to deal with this abusive asshole they're all currently making money off of. So they're not going to pick necessarily what's best for Brittany, what's best for Cruz. They're going to pick what's best for business. And that's terrifying. So I hope Brittany is in talks with other representation, other PR, because she definitely does not need people around her who are looking out for Jax's, for his best interest, and also looking at the almighty dollar over her safety and her comfort and her boundaries. Hopefully, like cut all the ties, Britt, get all of your own stuff. You will rise, he will fall. Watch it happen. Okay. But I don't care if you've trusted these people forever. Someone like Lori K, I will argue this. She shouldn't even want to work with someone like that. I get that everyone might need PR, but from woman to woman, Lori, come on. You can get better clients. But if you see, so it just really got to me watching this and her looking over and then Lori zooming in, knowing that Lori doesn't necessarily have Britt's best interest at heart, just from the looks of it. So let me just pull back on this and we'll watch this again.
Listen, I want him to get help more than anybody else, obviously, but I really is he over here? I'm like scared. I'm like, is he around? Okay, he's over there. Okay.
See, it's very reminiscent in abusive relationship situations. I've seen this happen with friends. I've seen this happen with family, where you have people around them, whether it be like in-laws or friends who aren't looking out for the best interest of the victim. Instead, they're looking out for the best interest of the abuser. And so it's almost like, she's trapped in this world. And it just worries me. This right here, this part of the interview just sat so awfully with me.
I just, a lot of trust has been lost between us. And I want him to get help more than anybody else in this entire world. And I hope that he really is going to stick to it and change. But there's a lot of things that I haven't seen even throughout all this. So, working on it. Co-parenting is our most important thing. He loves his son. I know that. Cruz is the most important thing for both of us. Co-parenting is the most important thing. Definitely proud of him for trying this. I just hope he I hope it's not for show. Let me just say that. I hope it's real.
And he told us he feels bad and you deserve so much better. So how are you moving forward, and are you open to dating yet?
He says what?
That he feels bad and you deserve so much better. So how do you feel about that? Are you ready to?
Now, if you look, Lori is now speaking to Brittany while this woman is asking the question.
Yeah, yes and yes. I agree to what he said, and I agree to, yeah. I mean, I really don't know what to say at this point, because I feel like
even though Britt technically knows where Jax is and has identified, okay, he's over there, she's still looking around and she's still visibly afraid.
Yeah.
And she gets a little mad at Lori. She's like, okay. So it felt like she's in a hostage situation and they're not letting her say what she really wants to say, and she's terrified.
And I agree to, yeah. I mean, I really don't know what to say at this point, because I feel like yes. Yeah, it's just like, it's hard. I definitely know I deserve better, and I am ready to hopefully have a connection, get the butterflies again, do all that.
So that rubbed me all the wrong ways. When I first watched this, I was like, what? And I see people in the chat are like, it's her job. Totally get it. I get it. I guess for me, oh, that'd be rough. She's got so many other clients. She can be successful with so many other people. Jax is a lost cause, and like representing him and Brittany now with what they're going through, it just doesn't seem like the safest thing for Brittany, definitely. And yeah, so hopefully Brittany just pulls away and Lori can keep PRing crisis intervention and Jax, whatever she's doing. So Lori is the woman to the right, like right behind there with the dark hair. That pretty lady right next to Brittany, she's been their PR person for a while now, and there were rumors about her and Jax. I don't know if any of that was ever true, but you've seen her pictured with them a bunch, travel with, I mean, they're close, and they work in business, and there were pictures circulating of him out for her birthday and them kind of cozied up. And some pictures Brittany was in, some pictures she wasn't. So people started speculating, are they having an affair? I don't think anything ever came about from that. So I don't know. But yeah, this just seemed very, living in LA as long as I did and knowing how like the beast kind of works. It's like, oh, Brittany's in it. Like she's got to get different reps. She's got to get people who are really working for her and looking out for her. She's got to be very careful who she trusts now. Dave, are you bringing the squeaky toy in here? Dave Dog's like, it's time to play. It's time to play. Mallory, it's so funny you bring that up, because that's the next interview we are going to talk about. Is Brittany did a great interview, like Mallory saying, with Reality Nightcap, speaking more about how she felt. So this is the night before, and then she does this other interview, and she's going to speak about how she was feeling that night. And that gives us more, context from her. So let me pull that up here. And it was very eye-opening, because exactly what, a lot of us can see and think, she was very uncomfortable being there with Jax. No, not that one. Okay, can you guys hear? Can you hear the squeaky toy? Let me know, because then I have to go play somewhere else. Dave, put in the chat if you can hear the squeaky toy. Because if you can't hear it, then I'll just let them keep playing in here. But if you can hear it, then I'll have to bring them out to Chell. I'll put them in Chell's office with Chell. You think it's cute? Okay, if it gets distracting, let me know. He just loves it, you guys. It sounds like a crying baby. Okay, that's not good. Let me know if it gets distracting. If it's too loud, you're not being rude. You can say it. And then because he is getting a little closer. Dave, what are you doing? Okay. All right. Give me a thumbs up as soon as you can hear the audio on this. This is the next day Brittany interviews with Housewives Nightcap podcast. Go out and give them all the love and the likes.
But just saw you last night
I
at the
know.
premiere of The Valley. How was that for you?
I'm not gonna lie, I was
I know.
in a weird headspace.
Rightfully, like I would imagine
Yeah,
you would be.
But I didn't expect to be like that. But like, not only with everything that was going on, my dress didn't come in. I was like dealing with things like right from the get go. And I know that's not like that big of a deal, but you know, it's such a big night for us. And I'm so excited and so grateful for everything. But I even texted all my friends and I was like, I'm so sorry I wasn't myself last night. Because normally I'm like the life of the party and just so much fun. And they were all like, what's going on? I don't know. I was just in such a weird headspace that I'm not normally in. And I don't know. I felt really weird. I had a lot of anxiety when I woke up today because I just didn't
feel yourself.
I didn't feel like I was myself. Yeah.
But it's okay to have those nights.
Yeah.
And your friends know that. Especially I know like The Valley is going to show a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm honestly not that you'd be a little, because I know I saw an interview that you did and you're like, is Jax around? Like, where is he? And
I saw that video and I untagged myself from it because I was just like, but a lot of comments were like talking about my appearance, of course. And then, but I was like, does nobody like realize that I was like scared on the carpet, or like who was like, if Jax was around listening to what I was saying, you know what I mean? Like I felt like if I was watching that, that's what I would have noticed.
And why were you scared?
Just because I didn't want him to hear the things I was saying. Like I felt like I couldn't be myself if he was around and hearing what I was saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, a lot to unpack with that.
Yeah.
So Brittany admits, I was scared. I didn't want him to hear what I was saying. Of course you wouldn't. He's so volatile. He pops off and he changes moods. One minute he's like, I'm crying. And the next moment he's like hating and he's mad or he's proud of himself. It's just like this man is... I would be afraid too. You don't know what you're going to get. And Brittany, unfortunately, has been on the receiving end of his abuse and his yelling and screaming and all of that. So you see her that next day reflecting here on how she felt the night before. And it's scary. Like, this is what Jax has done to this woman. Oh, there goes the desk. The cats have activated the standing desk. They're like, Mom, you need to stand. Okay. It is a zoo. Okay, that's what happens when you have your own zoo, like we do here. So it made me sad to see how affected, because I think Brittany has gotten, you know, and this could be through her conditioning, whether it's from family members, from being, you know, from her mom, from her, who knows, you know, kind of being like, look at the positive. And when you're in situations like this, sometimes you are hiding a lot of what's really going on. And now we're seeing just how this man affected her and just how scary he is. JW, thank you so much for the super chat. JW says, Brittany's authenticity is what we fell in love with. Lately, she's been too PR coached and fake, like Lauren from Utah. Yeah, I like the interviews where we get Brittany just when she was speaking on Cruz's autism after when she came out with the diagnosis. The first part of that interview seemed so sincere. And then, you know, I think her defense mechanism is to go to the and giggle. And I'm just positive rather than just say, I can't be positive right now. Okay, I got this asshole cokehead screaming in my face and throwing coffee tables at me. So I definitely cannot be positive right now. And guess what? In life, you don't have to be positive all the time. Okay, there's a such thing called toxic positivity, and it's pushed down our throats through those stupid fucking signs like choose happy, dance like nobody's watching. Well, sometimes I don't want to dance like nobody's watching. Okay. Sometimes I want to drive over someone. No. But I think that, you know, it would do Brittany wonders to probably get some kind of therapy where they acknowledged her experience and that you don't always have to be positive. Okay. Sometimes things suck. And you can feel it out, and that's okay. And you don't have to make a turd into a flower.
No, that you looked beautiful last night. I know you said the dress wasn't what you wanted, but when you walked in, I was like, oh my God, she literally looks like a sparkling queen.
And people are so hypercritical on her looks too, which, you know, that's difficult.
Like I said in the beginning, you know, this season is going to be a tough one for you. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling going into the premiere?
You know, I finally watched the episode.
Okay.
And, you know, it's does show a lot of what's going on, and it is going to be very hard to relive. But I feel like I truly am in such a better place now. I've like moved past a lot of that. But it's just like sharing it with the world and getting the judgment of other people and this and that. Like, I don't handle everything perfect always, you know? So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a roller coaster of emotions, I think.
In the trailer, I mean, I feel like everyone is talking about the restraining order that you filed against Jax. Walk me back the moment you decided this was needed.
So I didn't ever actually file a restraining order. It was something that was going to happen if he didn't leave me alone.
Okay.
So it was kind of like this is going to happen if not. You'll see more as you watch more of the season what that's about. So I don't want to like give too much of that away. But before, of course, 2 days before we started filming, which everybody sees in the first episode, like that's whenever I really could have called the cops or done something, because it was very, very, very bad and very traumatic. But I didn't. I had, you know, Jason and Janet came over and we like settled it between all of us, and Jason took him away and Janet stayed with me. And I think Lori actually came over that night. So it was like, you know, we handled it that way. But I was like, in the future, if this ever
It is so interesting and so messed up that Bravo's like, let's keep filming a whole season with this dude. We now know that there is very traumatic abuse currently happening. And they were like, let's keep going. But you see other, you know, someone mentioned Kenya earlier, and other people getting fired. You would think this would be a very fireable offense too.
happens again, I'm taking a different route.
Oh, I wish she would have I wish Jax would have been arrested for this. I really do. He needs to be arrested. This dude's a monster.
But before, of course, 2 days before we started filming, which everybody sees in the first episode, like that's whenever I really could have called the cops or done something, because it was very, very, very bad and very traumatic. But I didn't. I had, you know, Jason and Janet came over and we like settled it between all of us, and Jason took him away and Janet stayed with me. And I think Lori.
This is a great time to mention, men, this is your job. This is where you have to step in. You have to step in. You know, if anything I've learned through the years and through the wonderful, like feminist writers and feminist therapists and women in general, men don't care for the most part. They're not looking for the approval of women. Men are always seeking the approval of other men, the same way women are always dressing for other women. So men like Jason and the rest of the cast, and men everywhere, if you have a friend like this, an abusive man, you have to be the one to put the stakes out there. I will not be your friend anymore if this is how you treat your wife and child. I will not be your friend anymore if you are out here just sticking your dick everywhere and not being a good person. I will not be your friend if you are verbally abusive to your wife. This is the only way in which men change. There are so many female therapists, women therapists, who won't even, treat men like this because they're like, therapy doesn't work. Therapy doesn't work for this type of misogyny, this type of narcissism in men, this type of abuse a lot of times, especially therapy from another woman. There has to be consequences, and a big consequence for men is not getting the approval of other men. When you're just like, that's just my friend, and you co-sign that shit, that enables the men like this. And I find it, with that show that dropped on Netflix, Adolescence, I haven't watched it yet, but they were talking a lot about that. People who were reviewing the show, like therapists and things, about how that kind of behavior, that kind of treatment of women, that can't be fixed just in therapy. That literally their peers have to step up. There has to be consequences within the maledom, okay, within the male world, to have men holding men accountable. And not just like, hey, buddy, come on, not making excuses for them, not going, let me get you out of here and buy you a drink. No, there needs to be consequences from other men. You have to step up. And it really shouldn't be that hard, because why would you want to hang out with a guy who's toxic and verbally and physically abuses women? Or why would you want to have a guy friend who just like fucks around and lies on his marriage? Why would you want to hang out and be friends with someone who has such low integrity? I know I wouldn't want to be friends with an individual like that, but men really seek out the, validation, acceptance from other men. They don't from women. It's not the same. So any men that befriend abusive men, you are part of the problem and you're enabling them. If you are not holding them accountable, saying, I'm not going to be your friend, I'm not doing this with you. And it shouldn't be, think if it was your sister, if it was your mother, it'd be so nice to get to a place where we didn't have to say that to men anymore, where you just gave a shit because we're human beings. But my God. But yeah, the stakes have to be from other men. So it would have been nice if Jason, Jesse, all these guys on the Valley were like, we're not fucking with him anymore. If this is how he acts and this is how he treats Brittany and he's an abusive piece of shit, no. If he continues this behavior and to go down, he's done. We don't want to film with him. We don't want to talk to him. Those are real consequences. Those are consequences that would actually, it has a better chance of sinking in with Jax than anything else. Look at what happened, just with the mere threat that he might lose his job. Now imagine if all the men in the cast stood up and said, I'm not filming with him. He's a woman abuser. I'm not filming with him. That would be the world I want to live in. But men, you have a lot of power in these situations to influence other men and to hold them accountable.
We actually came over that night. So it was like, we handled it that way. But I was like, in the future, if this ever happens again, I'm taking a different route.
It does seem, I talked to Jax last night and he is really trying to change. Do you believe that he has changed?
So I see a lot of things that you guys don't see. A lot of the stuff that's behind closed doors. If he is truly sober and everything like that, that's great. A lot of people were asking me last night, if I was proud of him and stuff. And that was really hard for me to take because I went through a lot and I tried to get him help for a long time. So being proud of him after 10 years and us having a son together and still didn't get help for a very long time. It's hard to say that you're proud of somebody.
Imagine being a reporter and asking a question to a victim of abuse, to a victim of narcissistic abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. If they're proud of their abuser, let that sink in. I watched most of the interviews that were done, and that was asked of her by men, women, everyone asked, are you proud of Jax? That should never be asked of Brittany. That is disgusting and horrible. Jax has so much to prove and make amends for. The last thing he needs is anyone being proud of him for what? He's done nothing. And why would the woman who he's terrorized be proud of him? He's doing the bare minimum. Yes, I'm so proud that he's not throwing coffee tables at me at the moment or snorting rails up his nose and yelling at me in front of our child or drinking and driving and high. Bravo. What? They act like he ran a fucking marathon, and he wasn't an abusive asshole. It's insane to ask an abused woman if she is proud of her abuser because he says he's seeking treatment. What? That was the craziest part of all of this. And then when Brittany addressed it on this Housewives nightcap, because as I'm watching, I'm like, I hope she just doesn't even realize they're asking her this, but how does she not? And clearly, yes. Because any woman, any person in this situation would be like, are you seriously asking me if I'm proud of the man who has terrorized me for years? Put me down, cornered me, thrown a coffee table at me, drunkenly belittled me, soberly belittled me on television, fat shamed me, cheated on me. Are you really asking if I'm proud of him? I don't know what these people were thinking, these interviewers. In this moment, I couldn't imagine asking a woman this. I couldn't imagine asking Brittany. First of all, I would ask Brittany, how are you, Brittany? How has this affected you? I would care. I don't give a fuck about Jax. I don't care if he is getting sober or he's not. I'm interviewing Brittany. I want to know how she is. I want to know how this has impacted her. I want to know her plans. I don't give a fuck if Jax gets sober, honestly. And I'm never going to be proud of him. Why would I be proud of him? It's insane, even these small little things that we might overlook that might seem insignificant. Like, and you'll see this push on social media too. People are like, oh, you have to say that you're happy is getting help. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. And you don't either. You don't owe him dick. I don't owe an abusive, narcissistic asshole who's been spoiled and able to monetize his abuse for years anything. And neither does anyone else. Neither do men, neither do women. But the fact that people are like, oh, but as a sober person, like, nope, fuck them. Fuck them. I learned this so long ago, and it was a lesson I didn't necessarily know. I remember my friend, Allie Pat, shout out to Allie Pat. I had this neighbor who was just a fucking terror and a drunk. Okay. And I'm in my sobriety, and I had heard she was getting help. It never happened, but I heard she was getting help. Right. And my friend Allie Pat, she's a wonderful, she's one of my besties, but she's also a sober woman herself and super smart. And I said, hopefully she'll be a better person now, hopefully. And she told me straight up, she's like, you know what, Jolene, that's not true. Some people are never going to be better people, sober or drunk. Like, some people get sober and they're still the same shitty person they always were. And that's why it's never just the alcohol. It's never just the drugs. There's so much more there to look at, So some people just aren't good people. Or some people have problems that transcend the addiction. So sober or not, some people get sober and they're still bad people. They're still assholes. Sobriety doesn't equal better. And I always thought sobriety equaled better. I did. I was like, then you're better. So if you just work that and you get sober, you'll be better. Your life will be better. Not necessarily. There's not necessarily a great person hiding under there. And that, I think, is so important for the world to realize, because it changed. It helped me see things more clearly and be like, oh yeah, some people do just fucking suck. And you don't got to cheer for everybody. And just because someone's getting sober doesn't mean they deserve a cheer squad. No. And it doesn't mean they're going to be any better. And it doesn't mean they're going to take it seriously. All those things. And so I think that is, with everyone going, well, because I even heard Lala, and she's like, well, and how she chooses to do her recovery is her business. So she's like, I can't say actively being someone in the program that he's not. And I'm like, okay, fine. Good for you. But I also know, being sober as long as I have, that some people are just fucking assholes. Take the alcohol away and the asshole remains. And that, I think, is Jax Taylor. I think he's going to use alcohol and drugs as the reason, but the reason is really Jax.
Like, I definitely want that for him. I just hope it's not performance.
That's the thing. It's like you're asking the abused woman, the woman who's been at the, who's been the target of his wrathiest wraths, to be like, I mean, I'm proud of him. I want that for him, to support him. She supported him already. She's done enough. No, this is ridiculous.
Me last night, like, if I was proud of him and stuff. And that was really hard for me to take because I went through a lot. And I tried to get him help for a long time. So being proud of him after 10 years and us having a son together and still didn't get help for a very long time, it's hard to say that you're proud of somebody. Like, I definitely want that for him. I just hope it's not performative. I hope it's not because he knows how bad this season's going to be for him.
And that's why it is. And she knows that's why it is. That's why she said it. Brittany, you don't owe them anything. Don't even let anyone try to drag you for this. You can say, and I would respect you so much if you just said, no, I don't believe him. And I believe he's doing it to be performative. And I believe he's doing it because he is trying to get ahead of this. And he's trying to use this as an excuse. Yes, Heather, great point with dry drunks. They're dry drunks. Dry drunks aren't doing the work to better themselves at their core. No, dry drunks is basically you have the same behavior as you did in your addiction. So you might have taken away the substance, but all of the traits and all of the ways you act as an addict are all still there. All the selfishness, all that shit is still there because you've done nothing to work, like Heather's saying, at your core. And Jax, even if he's going to meetings, he's for sure a dry drunk. He might have taken the alcohol out. He might have taken the coke out, let's say. But that man is not doing any of the words he uses, the thing he says, the things he says, the selfishness. No. And according to Brittany, he's still verbally abusive and still calling and ranting and yelling at her and Kristen and texts and all the things.
There's different things. Like, I don't trust him.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to just be like, yes, Team Jax on board. Like, I'm not going to be that way for a very long time.
You don't need to be.
Yeah. But again, I do want him to have help. I do want him to get better. I hope that
I do like this interviewer, Lauren, I think her name is, but I think she did on the red carpet ask if she's proud. She might have been one of the proud. Everybody asked that question. Like, there was a lot of people. And in other interviews, not just that red carpet, but I like that she's saying, and you don't have to be. You were his biggest cheerleader when you were married to him and trying to be a wife to him, and he still shit on you and abused you and cheated on you. So you don't owe him anything. He owes himself the world. You don't have to do that for him.
Real, and that is true. And we do have to be in each other's lives. So it's just complicated because I don't really know what I believe at this point.
You just said if he's sober. I noticed that last night too when we were talking.
Yeah.
Do you not think he's actually sober?
I mean, he does pass drug tests and stuff.
Okay.
I think it's just maybe even if he is sober, his personality doesn't change.
That's a dry drunk.
And I'm still dealing with a lot of stuff almost every day. So it's like, for me, it's just not that much of a change, but like, of course,
right.
I want that for him, and I want that because it would make all of our lives easier. But I just think he is who he is.
Do you find that co-parenting, I know he keeps saying that he has been sober for over 100 days. Like, in those 100 days, has co-parenting got any easier? Okay.
No, it's almost gotten worse. I mean,
that's so weird, Jax, because you just got done telling us in interview after interview how everything is so better and you're a different man and you're changed and you're better. But here is your wife, your soon-to-be ex-wife, I don't know if they're divorced yet, telling us that, nope, it's the same, if not worse. It's so interesting. It's so interesting, Jax. How you just lie straight to our face. You're still treating her like shit, and you're still not being a good co-parent, even though you're out there touting that you are father of the freaking year on covers of Us Weekly and exploiting your son, being like, I did it for my son, when we know good and goddamn well that you did not do it for your son, and your son will see that when he's older.
Not that it's gotten worse. It's either stay the same. It's hard to explain.
Brittany, it's okay. You can say it's gotten worse. You can say he's a fucking monster still to this day.
It's been a lot of ups and downs when you've gone through it for as long as I have. And also like the victim mentality of it all.
Ding, 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 ding. That's Jax. Victim mentality.
All is really.
And when you are going through recovery and you are getting sober, you cannot be the victim. Sitting in a poor me will get you nowhere.
Bothersome to me. Because I feel like he's never going to realize how much damage he actually did to me. Like, I was the one who actually went through this stuff.
Right.
And
Brittany looks like she's on the verge of tears in this. And I wish someone would sit down and talk to her if she wants to do these interviews or has to or whatever, and would really give her the space and the grace to tell her truth and not expect anything. Just be like, let's just let it all out. This is your time to tell your story. Fuck Jax. Fuck the show. And I know that, it's hard to say that when that's currently your employer, but like, fuck all of this. And you tell the Brittany story. We don't got to protect him. He's not here. It's like painful to see her like this.
It's either stay the same. It's hard to explain. It's been a lot of ups and downs when you've gone through it for as long as I have. And also like the victim mentality of it all is really bothersome to me. Because I feel like he's never going to realize how much damage he actually did to me. Like, I was the one who actually went through this stuff.
Right.
And I feel like he's just trying to get ahead of all that.
Of what is going to be shown on the show.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look pretty.
Yeah.
Because when I talked to him last night, he was very remorseful and he was just saying,
He says all the right things.
But does he say that to you or is he just saying that to us?
He says it to you guys. Sometimes he says it to me, but majority of the time he's just worried about who I'm dating, who I am around. Like, do I like it's
Wait,
not
still today?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Every single day.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Because I know in the
and he still brings up Julian, who I have not talked to in months.
Okay, because I was going to talk about that.
I've not talked to that man in months and months and months and months, but that still gets brought up to me almost on a daily basis.
That's abuse. That is controlling. That is abusive. What he is doing to Brittany, what she's describing every day, they are divorced or they're getting divorced. They don't live together. They're not together. They're not reconciling. And here he is questioning her, staying on her. So none of this other stuff he's claiming, it's all fake. He's lying. He's a liar. He's taking this time to continually harass her about who she dates and who she talks to. This is a scary human. This is a man who would be on like a fucking Dateline episode. I don't want to be hyperbolic. I don't want to be, but I worry about Brittany. The more that comes out, I like worry about this woman. This is really fucked up. When it was first, they were divorcing. I was like, Britt and Jax. Like, they've always been kind of annoying to me. But now hearing Brittany's story slowly coming out and knowing and seeing Jax behave this way, it's terrifying. This man is a fucking monster. Yes, Heather. He's literally terrorizing her. She said every day while he's out there lying, spewing propaganda. I'm changed. I'm so different now. Recognize that man. Trying to just not take accountability. Where have we seen that before? Tom Sandoval. Rather than actually watching the episode, letting it sink in, changing, not trying to get ahead of it, not trying to already get forgiveness from an audience who hasn't even seen what happened yet, but we've heard enough and we've watched you enough on television to know that you're trash. Oh my God. It's like, yes, Beach, she's exhausted. And like Evelyn's saying, that is awful. She can't live like this. No, she needs to get a court order. This is like such an intrusion, such harassment, so terrorizing, still abusing her. This control that he wants as an abuser, as a narcissist over Brittany will never stop. Jax feels as though he was slighted. He was wronged. His ego took a hit when Brittany was separated from him, living in a different spot. He was banging anyone and everyone. And she was sexy texting or hooking up with a guy he kind of knew, an acquaintance friend. And that to him is like, any guy would do this. I've heard him in interviews say how I reacted when he throws this coffee table. I think he's going to say it in tonight's episode. Any man would react like that. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. He's like, she was my friend. She can hook up with anyone but my friend. Did you say that same thing to your best friend, Tom Schwartz, when him and Katie Maloney had an agreement to not hook up with friends? And he was pretending to hook up with Rachel Raquel and hurting Katie to hide the Scandival affair? And they were making Katie out to be like a crazy person? Did you say that to Tom Schwartz? Because I don't think you did. I think you all acted like Katie was crazy, even though Jax wasn't on the show at the time. He was very good friends with Schwartz. And I heard him in interviews talk about how ridiculous it is for Katie to try to regulate who Tom Schwartz can hook up with. And Joe, in the Joe situation, not even Rachel Raquel, but the Joe situation. Like she knew them, she was friends with them, and she was besties with Kristen. And Jax himself said it was crazy that Katie would try to regulate who Tom would date. Now, I would argue as shitty as a relationship as Katie and Tom Schwartz has, there is more respect there than Jax. He never respected Brittany, not 1 second, even though Schwartz did very disrespectful things to Katie. There was some sense of respect and love at a time. But the fact that he would ask anything of her after how he's treated her, after he's embarrassed her, after he's abused her, after he's cheated on her, and now still to this day, harassing her about it. That's fucked. This dude is, I'm going to drag you, Jack. It's going to feel so good.
like, and his go-to line is, what would any man do if they found out that their friend was hooking up with their wife, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, it's just like he never takes accountability. And that is what is driving me so crazy. And that's it.
And this is when other men have to step up and go, yeah, they wouldn't do that. Nope. You're an asshole for doing that. Because I've heard him say this, and you'll hear him say it again in tonight's episode. Like I said, what would any man do? Of course, every man. Yes, every man is going to terrorize his soon-to-be ex-wife every day over a guy she hooked up with when they weren't together, when he was already moved on and leaving thongs in the bathroom, and made his wife at the time and son move out of their home so he could fuck bitches in it. I mean, and now she found a little happiness with a hotter guy that you kind of know, and you won't let it go. So you pick up a coffee table and you throw it at her after checking her iPad and invading her privacy when you're not with her. No, men shouldn't behave like that, and they don't.
It's hard. It's hard.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
But I am glad to know that, like we were talking about in the beginning of the interview, that you are going to get your independence back.
Yes.
And we're going to see a different side of you,
Mhm.
and we're going to see your sparkle back.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that's exciting.
I know there's a tendency, and I get it, to kind of go, but you're going to do great. And I wish there would be an interviewer who would just sit and listen to her and allow her to keep going, rather than being like, but girl, you're going to get your spot. We're going to see so much different, and have to quick, like, clean it up, mop up the mess. No, Brittany was opening up. She was sharing. And it seems like Britt wants to, especially when he's not around, when she's not like terrified he's going to be over her shoulder and do God knows what in this moment. If she just would have kept along those lines of questions of Brittany to open up more and more. Now it's like, but girl, you get your groove back, girl. It's like, this is important. What Brittany is saying, I think a lot of women, unfortunately, can relate to. And what she's saying and how this goes down could help a lot of people. Nothing with Jax. He doesn't even need to be on the damn show. But instead, it's like, but girl, when are you going to date again? When are you going to get new dick? Yes, honey. You're talking to like a damaged, abused lady.
Yes, I know. It's just like, and his go-to line is, what would any man do if they found out that their friend was hooking up with their wife, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, it's just like he never takes accountability. And that is what is driving me so crazy. And that's, it's hard. It's hard.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
But I am glad.
So it's like, oh, okay, sorry. Good. And then, but I am glad you're about to get your group. No. Say, of course, anyone would feel that way. That's awful. He doesn't take any accountability and blaming you and still harassing you. Like, I'm so sorry you have to go through that. That must be so incredibly difficult.
Glad to know that, like we were talking about in the beginning of the interview, that you are going to get your independence back.
Yes.
And we're going to see a different side of
Mhm.
you, and we're going to see your sparkle back.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that's
I mean, I
exciting.
will say, the interview, the woman, Lauren, she seems so sweet. But in that moment, it just was an interesting transition. And I know what she's trying to do. She wants her to feel better, and it's uncomfortable, and I get it. It's just like, I really wish Brittany had she's got a podcast, but had like an interviewer who, they could just kind of sit in that, in the realness of it, in the severity of it. But Sparkle's nice too.
Yes, I know. I'm ready for all of that to be shown.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's going to be a different version of Brittany that people are used to, especially from like Vanderpump days, whenever I was just gullible and whatever. Like, I don't take any shit from him no more. So like, yeah, like I'm still my same sweet, good friend person, but with him, the boundaries are completely different. So I stick up for myself and I stand my ground, and especially to this day, like, yeah.
No, but I
Happy
love
about that. Yeah.
As someone that has watched Vanderpumprules since you joined the show,
Yeah.
I'm over here like clapping for
Thank you.
That
Thank
is amazing,
you.
and that is amazing for other women to see.
Yes,
and
and
we're not alone in this journey.
And that's something I always like try to remind myself is like, if I can use this platform to help other women leave a toxic relationship, if I could use this to show other people that they can get out, it doesn't matter how long it took you finally got out, and I think that is something that a lot of women will relate to.
Yes.
And that gives me a lot of hope throughout the season,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's truly amazing. And
Yeah.
it's also amazing to see all your cast members rally around
Oh,
you.
yes. They are I hate even saying they're my cast members because they are my friends.
Yeah.
And we all became cast members on the show because they were my friends.
Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit and see if
I love
Yeah.
that. It's old.
4
Can
years
you-
old. And stuff that think they're doctors and that they know everything.
So amazing.
Yeah, like
And
that's what they
that's
should
right.
be. Amazing. And I can help other families that are going through this. And a lot of people who have autistic children don't really come out and talk about it. And, you know, April is Autism Awareness Month. And he's turning 4 tomorrow. And I just feel like it was the perfect time to talk about it because he's so perfect.
He's perfect.
He is perfect. There's nothing to be ashamed of. He is going to be even more special.
it's so different the way she talks about Cruz's autism than the way Jax does. Jax talks about it like it is just, he has such a negative connotation when he talks about it. It's like a disappointment. And Brittany talks about it in a very empowering way and how special her son is as a person and how it's like a superpower. And Jax obviously is just, you know, garbage. So he's going to describe it as garbage.
I even said in my article, I was like, I really want people to realize about autism is that he's going to see the world more vibrant and beautiful than any of us ever will, you know?
Yeah.
And I just think that he is amazing and he's growing so much every single day and he's going to change. He's only 3. He's going to, well, 4 tomorrow. But he's going to change. And, you know, I'm just trying to make sure like early intervention is so important. And like also with other families that are going through it, like they need to realize that early intervention is so important to give their child the best life that they could possibly have. And if I can help spread awareness to that as well, like that's amazing.
That's so
you
amazing.
know?
You're using your platform
Yeah.
for the right
Yes,
reasons.
yes.
For so many reasons.
Yeah.
Well, slow your roll. Jack's already called he's the ADHD, autism, OCD, BP. He's all the things. Remember, Jax was like, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna be he was already rebranding himself as autistic dad. Okay.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Do you feel a new sense of purpose about yourself now too?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Like if I can help all these families, you know, because I feel like a lot of people, they don't want to believe it at first, you know, because it's something different in their life maybe. And they don't like start the early intervention early enough because they're like, oh, well, things might change or, you know, this and that. It's like, no, you need to start working on speech now. It's the time right now to build the building blocks in their brain and get everything ready for them. And if I can like help people realize that it's okay and it's beautiful and, you know, he's going to see the world just so amazing and like judgment free. And so, like, I think that's a gift.
It's just amazing.
Thank
Seriously,
you.
that
Yeah.
you're able to use this platform for other families out there.
Yes. Yeah.
I do want to ask if after getting Cruz's diagnosis, if that changed the dynamic with the co-parenting at all.
This.
I think it was a little bit harder for Jax to accept than it was for me to accept, if I'm being perfectly honest. He loves his son.
Of course.
There's nothing like that I mean. I think that well, if I'm being totally honest, I deal with all the doctors and the therapists and everything. So he doesn't.
Wow, Jack's Father of the Year, and you're not even going to the doctors with your newly diagnosed autistic son who is nonverbal. Father of the Year, not even going, but he's the one that's like, I wish I had custody of my son all the time. I live for my son. Not enough to go to the doctors or to understand what's going on with him and his health, which is like the most important thing. Oh, this fucking asshole. Why don't people call him out on this? Now that we know this information, the next person to interview him, Alex Baskin-Robbins, better be asking about this. Why aren't you at the doctors? And don't say it's because Brittany doesn't let you. What did you do to not be there? This is on you. This isn't on other people. Why aren't you there?
If that changed the dynamic with the co-parenting at all.
I think it was a little bit harder for Jax to accept than it was for me to accept, if I'm being perfectly honest. He loves his son.
Of course.
There's nothing like that I mean. I think that well, if I'm being totally honest, I deal with all the doctors and the therapists and everything. So he doesn't see as much as I see, but that goes into it. But he's learning. We're both learning.
One step at a time.
It's brand new.
Where is he? Where is he when all these doctor's appointments are happening and these very crucial appointments about his son's health? He should be learning all of that. Jax, didn't you say you wanted to be an autism advocate? Well, how can you be an autism advocate as a father of an autistic child? We don't even go to the appointments or understand autism. Performative.
But yeah, it hasn't always been easy. It hasn't been easy, but.
So Brittany does all the heavy lifting, and then he shits on her in his interviews and blames her for hitting rock bottom and exploits his son by saying he's such a good dad and he chose it for his son, but he can't even choose to go to the doctor's appointment. So how much are you choosing your son?
I wouldn't change anything about Cruz ever.
And you call autism issues, and Brittany talks about it like a superpower.
Ever.
Such a sweet, special boy.
So special and the most beautiful little boy ever. Sorry, I'll just say it.
Are we gonna see now? Do you want him still to be on the show next season? Like, are you
No.
gonna still
No, let Cruz live his life off the show.
show a lot of Cruz, or has that changed anything?
Yeah. So honestly, like while we were filming season 2, we hadn't had his diagnosis yet. I started working with a developmental pediatrician while I was filming.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure what's going to be on the show. Honestly, I can't say
We
like
never
it'll
know.
show his
Right.
story. I don't really know if it's going to be like that or not. But while I was filming this summer, like he was in therapy a lot. He was in, different things. And I was going through it and getting his diagnosis. And then as soon as the cameras wrapped, like a couple weeks later is whenever we finally got the official diagnosis.
Okay.
So, he's only 3 and, they don't want to diagnose him too early, but there was a lot of signs and different things.
The way Brittany talks about her son is night and day from the way Jax talks about Cruz for his son. Brittany talks of him as he's a gift. Like you guys are saying in the chat, she lights up. She knows everything going on. She's so involved. She's the primary parent. And Jax uses him as a prop, uses him as a shield. Jax started really talking about Cruz and pushing him forward when he needed a redemption arc, when he fucked up. Oh, this is so gross. I am very happy Cruz has Brittany, and I am so sorry Cruz has Jax.
That was happening. So, yeah.
Well, the way that you're talking, I just like, it's really important.
Yes.
And I just love that you're being so open and honest
Thank
about
you.
this.
Thank you.
And I would imagine, like you said, it's giving you a new sense of purpose.
Mhm.
So what do you hope this?
Okay. So that's basically all of that, you guys. I just, as I was watching all these interviews and putting the captions and filtering them and stuff to kind of transform them, hopefully, so we don't get hit by copyright. If my video is, if you can't find it after this, it's because they hit me with a copyright and I have to remove any of these interviews. It'll be back up shortly. But yeah, this is, like you guys are saying in the chat, it's so worrisome. She does kind of look like Barbara Bush, the interviewer, not senior Barbara Bush, but one of the twins, the daughter. Because there's Gina, what's the other one's name? And there's Barb. She does look like a Bush daughter. She really does. Yes. Tej says, exactly, Jolene. I hope Brittany keeps Jax from damaging her child. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Trixie says it should be a condition that he can't verbally, physically, or mentally abuse Brittany for at least 3 months before even one supervised child visit. If he can do that to Britt, then a child, yeah. And, we will hear Brittany on this season of The Valley, maybe in the first episode, talk about how she wanted a restraining order, a protective order from Jax. Apparently she wanted it, but she never got it. It's not too late, though. It's not too late. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah. Crystal says, in the ET interview, didn't he keep referring to it as, problems, issues with autism? Yeah. Jax doesn't know the first thing about autism. The similar type doesn't know the first thing about sobriety. Jax doesn't know the first thing about human empathy. Jax doesn't know the first thing about being a human, being a father, being a good person, being loving, being not selfish. Okay. He wants credit for everything while doing nothing. He's literally a walking participation trophy, only he's not even participating. He just walked by the event and grabbed a trophy. And they're like, but you didn't even, he's like, doesn't matter. Look what I got. Anyone in my situation would have grabbed this trophy and thought they deserved it. No, they wouldn't. And he needs to get put in his place by other men. And he needs to be done with this show after this season. Well, right. Yeah. Bravo doesn't want any protective orders. That makes it a little hard to film. Thank you, Tej. Autistic children should be cherished, not abused. Exactly. Cherished, not abused. Jax he's unfit and he's an asshole. Blue said, based on Jax's behavior, still to this day, it's clear he's unfit to raise any child. Sorry, but it's a fact. It's a fact. I don't disagree with you one bit. Lady E from Portland says Jax is faking it right now. He's a he's a poser. Yeah, he is like what you would call like a career politician. He'll jump anywhere. He's a turncoat. He'll jump on anything to get ahead. He'll say what he thinks he needs to say to get by, to get out of things. He's a scammer. He always has been. He's always stolen, lied, cheat, steal, all the things. That's what this man does. And he told us straight to our faces that he's been able to get away with it for all these years. That's why he's been able to do it. Well, guess what? They're still letting him get away with it. And anyone who wants to be like, oh, Jax, you're doing so wonderful, you are enabling him and allowing him to get away with it because he is not showing any signs that he is actually working on anything. He just wants all the credit for things he hasn't done. He's acting like he's crossing a finish line. And he's so better. And he talks about rebranding. I mean, it is insane. This man sucks so bad. He might be the worst Bravo man, worst toxic Bravo dude. Put it in the comments who list all of the toxic Bravo dudes. There's so many. But Jax is, I think he might be, I mean, they're all pretty bad. Yes, Mallory, all the credit and none of the guilt. Exactly. Okay, let me recognize a couple super chats I didn't get to. David Cushmore, thank you so much for the super chat. David says, are you looking forward? Are you looking for Easter this weekend? Don't forget WrestleMania 41 is this weekend. I love how David always keeps us up to date on WrestleMania. As well, April 19th and 20th, John Cena versus Corey Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I don't even know who Corey Rhodes is. But John Cena, obviously everyone's heard of John Cena. My little nephew would just yell out last summer when he was visiting, John Cena or something. And I'm like, what? So, woohoo. Yes, I am looking forward to Easter. I don't really do anything for Easter, but I like candy and I like rabbits. So there we are. And David, thank you for the super chat saying, are you going to watch Thunderbolts on May 2nd? It's the next Marvel movie. I will probably see that eventually. I'll probably see it eventually, but not right when it comes out. But me and Hype Man Husband Show will probably make our way to watching that movie, either at home. I can't remember the last time I went to a theater. So, but I am going to go watch The Valley premiere. And I will be back tomorrow to roast and recap the premiere. And also the Minnesota Wild Go Wild. The game already started, and let's hope to God they can win because they already might not make it to the playoffs. So we'll see. But Hype Man Husband Chill and I have a date with hockey, and I'm going to make him watch The Valley. Don't tell him. Okay. Oh, Mallory says, Jolene, the real question is, do you like Peeps candy? Yes, I do. Marshmallow gooey goodness in the form of a, what is it, a chick or a bunny? Yeah. Stretch it out. Love it. I just love candy. Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you guys very much. You guys are saying HZMT says Jackson's number one narc of Bravo. I mean, he really is. Yes, Krista, list them out. Kyle, Craig, Shep, Whitney, Tom, Jax. Garbage. So you know what we have to play when they have garbage men on our TVs or in our media. It's the song by Hype Man Husband Shell, Don't Be a Dick.
Don't be a dick, you're being a real dick. Stop being a dick, you're being a dick. Don't be a dick, that's what you're being right now. You need to stop, check yourself, and calm the fuck down. Don't be a dick, you're being a real dick. Stop being a dick, you're being a dick. With the things that you do, you're obviously very hurt, and that's why I think that you're a big fucking jerk. Don't be a dick, you're being a real dick. Stop being a dick, you're being a dick.
Don't be a dick, you're being a real dick. Stop being a dick, you're being... Love that song. Shout out to all of my peeps in the... Speaking of peeps, I think Kara said peeps are gross. They are not. They're super sugary and they do give me a tummy ache, but I love them. The nostalgia. Shout out to all my super chatters today as well. Meg Shep, thank you so much for the kind words and for being a member of the channel for 10 months. Chickenhead PK Dorkface Neely, thank you for the super chat. JW and David Cushmore, appreciate you guys. Don't forget to comment after the video posts. You guys, if you watched the Valley season premiere, come back to this video and let me know your thoughts about it or anything we talked about in this video. If you're not already, please follow me on social media at Joleen Lunzer on Instagram, TikTok, and that's, well, if you're on Threads. But I think if you're on Instagram, you can follow me on Threads. I did do my first just thread, I guess. We had an earthquake. And I not tweeted, but I threaded about it. That's the thing. All right, you guys. Take care. I will see you tomorrow night. I should have played more sound effects. I'm sitting here looking at all my sound effects going, why didn't I play? Like, oh, I missed this one.
Go away, you adulterer! You adulterer!
I lost all my mojo.
So my friend.
The thing that makes
my friend then. Get your mojo back, my friend.
Once I turned 40, I was like,
this can't be the rest of my life.
I regret every moment that I stood up for you, defended you, supported you. You're worth nothing. And I want you to feel that deep in your soul. I want you to hear those words coming from the mouth of the woman that stood by you and loved you.
He has victim blamed me 100% of the way. So I don't believe anything that just came out of his mouth. I think he's full of
The My Hand in Yours tumblers. It keeps things hot and cold. Amazing. We have the My Hand in Yours license plate holder. Wow.
So many heroes tonight for the home team. One of them is this guy right here, Big Jake Middleton. Physical, fast hockey game. What was it like watching that overtime?
Yeah, so much fun. Gus was unbelievable. Kirill stayed out there for 2 minutes. Brock had a 2-minute shift too. Everyone played unbelievable. Kirill, top titty 2x4 to end the game. That was nice.
All right. The top titty 2x4 to end the game. That's always nice. You guys smash that like, leave a comment, and always remember to enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Bye.
If you like what you see.